There he goes, Sherry whispered through her teeth as she watched Bart Simpson's leather jacket flap in the wind as he sailed down the street on his skateboard. I wonder what he's thinking about. Do you think he's thinking about me? He's probably thinking about death grips. Bart's always thinking about death grips. He's so cryptic. Meanwhile, Bart Simpson, America's bad boy, is skating headlong into trouble. You see, Bart Simpson just scored some sick heroin from Nelson, and Bart's going home to do it because Homer and Marge went away for the week. Homer had a business conference and they went away. And this morning before school, he told Lisa, he said, "Hey, don't even try and talk to me after school. I don't want to hear it." And he didn't have to say anything to Maggie because Maggie's a baby and she's being babysat by I don't think there's anyone in the Simpsons universe that I would trust my child with, but I think that if I had to guess, Marge would probably leave Maggie with Patty and Selma, which is I wouldn't, but I'm not Marge, so it's not my choice. Anyway, so Bart's skateboarding home, and he's really pissed off. His hair isn't spiky anymore. It kind of falls in front of his face. And he's always pushing it out or like going like and he's like blowing it out of his eyes. He's very despondent. He's distant. He's not quite the same anymore. And Lisa's noticed this, but she doesn't say a lot about it because she used to, but she learned very quick that Bart wasn't interested in having a conversation about how he's feeling, and she just is going through a lot herself right now, so she really doesn't need to deal with his acidic responses, so she leaves well enough alone. But it eats her up inside because she knows that her brother, Dearest, is really hurting. So Bart gets in the front door, and he doesn't really say much, although he opens the door very loudly and makes his presence known. He makes no effort to go say hi to Lisa. Lisa looks up from the kitchen table where she's reading a book, and she goes to wave and say, "Hello, Bart," but by the time she even gets her head up, Bart's already head up the stairs, and she resigns, looks down and sighs and gets back to her book. Meanwhile, we're in Bart's room, and he puts on a record. It's not Death Grips as previously indicated, but it's something even gayer. And he's listening to it, and he's nodding his head, and he's like, it's I don't know what the song he's listening to, but imagine it makes you feel as embarrassed as that scene in Freaks and Geeks where James Franco goes home and he's all pissed off and he starts listening to Black Flag, and you have to act like that's cool or something. It's like that, but instead of badass, he's sad and he's about to do heroin. So yeah, Bart broods in his room a bit, and then he starts doing the heroin, and he does too much because it's his first time, so he's like nodding out, and he's probably gonna die from an overdose. He's laying on his back, he's gonna puke. Lisa doesn't want to bother him, so she's not coming in to see him, to help him. And just when everything seems lost, we see Sherry at the window. She was stalking Bart. She wanted to watch him change but instead she catches him overdosing on heroin. So she goes inside his room and she saves his life. And then she kisses him, and he throws up on her, but he survives. And Homer and Marge never find out about the heroin. Um, okay, that's my story. Thank you. Have a good day. God bless. Peace out.